Good morning, guys, and happy Wednesday. So we are continuing our conversation to talk about grit. I like the definition. Grit is long-term passion and perseverance towards long-term goals. One of the things that I like to think about this stuff is, how do you eat an elephant, Allison?
You take little bites.
One bite at a time, right? Doesn't matter what it is. So, if your goal is black belt, you're not going to do that in one shot. It doesn't make any sense. Matter of fact, we don't even do here at the Academy, in order to make it palatable, to make it simple, to make it streamlined, to make it easy to follow. We have taken even our individual belt list and we have intermediary steps, sort of a checks and balances to make sure you're progressing correctly. It's a very useful system for making sure the students are progressing. But it also makes it like small bite-sized pieces. I don't have to worry about the whole belt, I've got to worry about this piece. And then we do big checks at belt tests, et cetera, et cetera. So what I want to do today is a psychological researcher out there, Angela Duckworth, has written some great stuff and put together some great material on grit. Allison hasn't seen this, which is kind of fun. A 10-piece quiz that Ms. Duckworth came up with, Professor Duckworth came up with, on testing your levels of grit. Now, you guys at home, you guys can play along. We're going to put Allison's answers in here. And, I recognize there's a tremendous amount of pressure being live on Facebook and recorded for YouTube, and just go with it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, grit scale. The ratings are very much like me, mostly like me, somewhat like me, not much like me, or not at all like me. Number 1, new ideas and projects sometimes distract me from previous ones.
Always.
Very much like me. Got it. Okay, good. Same rating. Setbacks don't discourage me. I don't give up easily.
It depends on the...
No. 5 ratings. Very much, mostly, somewhat, not at all like me, or, not much like me, or not at all like me.
Middle.
So sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Depends.
I often set a goal, but later choose to pursue a different one.
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat like me?
Yeah.
I am a hard worker.
Sometimes.
So you're still in the middle?
Yep. It depends.
Okay. Again, very much like me, mostly like me, somewhat like me, not much like me, or not at all like me. I have difficulty maintaining my focus on projects that take more than a few months to complete.
Difficulty focusing on projects that take, yes. Probably the 4th one.
Mostly like me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very much. There we go. I finish whatever I begin.
Most of the time, so maybe that.
Mostly like me?
Yeah.
My interests change from year to year.
No. I pretty much have the same interests.
So not much like me, or not at all like me?
Not much.
Not much. Okay. I am diligent. I never give up.
That's not true. So maybe like the 4th one, like.
Not much like me?
Not much like me, but a little bit.
Okay. I have been obsessed with a certain idea or project for a short time, but later lost interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, so mostly like me?
I would say just sometimes like me, like the 3rd one, like the middle one.
So somewhat like me.
Somewhat like me.
Okay. So tiny little buttons, it's hard to hit sometimes. I have overcome Good morning, guys. I have overcome setbacks to conquer an important challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Very much like me, or mostly like me?
Mostly like me.
Mostly like me. Get your score. Your grit score on a 5-point scale is 2.9, so above average. Well, that's almost 3. That's above average. On a 0 to 5,
Yeah.
2.9 is above average.
That's not too bad. That's more than I was expecting.
So, you scored higher than about 20% of adults in a recent study.
All right.
Which means?
Which means what?
Well, higher than 20% of adults, is that a number that's like, there's no grade on this, right? This is not one of those things that would be graded in life, right? It's more a matter of, in looking at that, does it help you think, I'd like to work more on this type of stuff?
Depends.
So that's
Yeah.
and that's why you're at 20% because the answer is depends.
Because it really depends on the situation. With my black belt, for that specific goal, like there was nothing that was ever going to change my mind about that. There was no work that I wasn't going to be able to put in. But there are certain things that like I want a new car. But like at the same time, like in theory, I could work so hard that I finally earn that car and I save enough money for that car. But it's really not that big of a priority for me. So it depends on...
This becomes really important in separating goals and wants. You are attracted to a Tahoe.
Yeah.
That does not make it a big long-term goal, strictly speaking.
No.
And cars...
My car is fine the way it is.
It's a little side story from my own personal experience. Not me individually, because I'm a car nut. But I know multiple people who put a car as their long-term goal. One guy who, it was a Corvette. The other guy, it was a Ferrari. Another guy, it was a certain Mercedes. All of them, they all earned that car and then 3 months later sold it. Almost every single one of them was within 3 to 4 months because these actually all, interestingly, these are all very, very driven individuals. It was not about the car, it's once they wrote down a goal, they were hitting that goal.
Yeah.
You have the Tahoe as it's really pretty, I like my mom's, I want that. Yeah.
But the other long-term goal that I set a while ago was to earn my master's degree.
Yep.
And I'm trying to do every single thing possible I can to be able to afford it with no debt, because I don't want to take out a loan for it. So I've got to work twice as hard to be able to pay for it, whether it's taking extra photo clients or working other little tiny side jobs. But that motivation to be able to put the work in, the extra 20, 30, maybe sometimes 40 hours extra a week into this program. And it might take a little bit long. I've had definitely some setbacks over the last couple of months, but like I'm not gonna quit. My next class starts in November and I'm super excited to get kind of back pushing towards it. So it depends on the goal, or it depends on how I view the goal, I think. Personally.
So that's going to be our tip for today, is remember the elephant is one bite at a time.
Right.
Whatever the goal is, so a master's degree, it's one class
at a time.
That's all you can take, right? Whatever it is. The academy. COVID has hit the academy very hard. We've lost almost half our students. So I don't know, for those who don't know that, it's not good for us. It's very bad times here at the academy in terms of like the business running. We're not able to do a lot of the stuff that we normally do. So we're rebuilding it one student at a time. We're gonna get back to where we were over time, just one person at a time. So it's all we can do, right? There's no massive sweeping change. People promise big things, and 30 days you lose 100 pounds. Bullshit. That's not the way it works, guys. Okay? You eat the elephant one bite at a time. Simple. So your goal today is one of your big goals, whatever your big project, big goal, big desire is. What little bite can you take out of it today? That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty driven.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get...
You can't say I'm pretty driven sometimes.
Shiny object.
That's like saying, I have pretty good hair sometimes.
I do have pretty good hair sometimes.
No, me saying I have pretty good hair sometimes.
Yeah, but like you have facial hair that's pretty good sometimes.
Sometimes my beard's on point. Yeah. All right, team. So this is where we're going to switch into getting our bodies physically warmed up. So you want to take point?
Yeah, I'll start with jumping jacks. All depends.
See, but gritty people, it doesn't depend.
My dad would have gotten a 5 on that friggin' scale.
Ronnie's pretty determined.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my dad too. They're old school.
Dude is a type A+.
That's good.
Jogging.
Those are the people who get what they want.
We took a personality test for him. I think he was like...
You took it for him?
No. I took it with it. Like
he was answering the questions?
He was in the 99th percentile, meaning I think only 1% of the population for like that like driven type A, like we'll get shit done, butt kicks. He's like, what's that mean? I'm like, you are 1% of the population.
You are, as I like to say, too stubborn to quit.
Yeah. Switch those feet. But that's good. My mom was like 75%, so she was up there too. Maybe even 80.
More and more research shows
pause
us
there, up and down with the heads.
Grit and a growth mindset are kind of the two major determining factors on long-term success and growth.
Left and right.
think it's old man moment.
Good. Big shoulder circles.
I would tell you it's one of the things that our country is missing in the next generation.
Yeah.
The app, cell phone, smartphone generation, everything has come to them within a very short period of time, and anything that takes more than
Crisscross.
a day or 2 or 3, and their interest wanes and their focus drops quickly. So
To have those moments too. Jaw. Big twists here. Happens to everybody. But that's how you know if you really want something or not. Good. We can hang down the center here. Good job. Crisscross your left over your right. And still hang. Ooh, this feels nice. And switch. Awesome. All right. Breathing.
7:15, time for breathing, guys. So this is about getting your brain ready for the day. So we get a little intellectual stimulus, a little physical stimulus, a little spiritual, mental fitness. What word was this? I gotta eat out my coffee, obviously. It was a very late night for myself at Jiu-Jitsu. So we're gonna do a box breathing technique if you're new to this, guys. So that is a 4-count breathing in, a 4-count holding, a 4-count breathing out, and a 4-count holding. We've been working on this. It's a practice. This is a skill. So don't just assume that it's something that's quite easy to do. So I'm gonna guide you guys through it. Breathe everything out. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold to the top. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold to the top. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. On your own, putting your mental focus into breathing itself, so don't let anything else be the distractor. Thinking about that act of breathing, thinking about that focal point. And as always, guys, we're going to finish with 1 big breath in and 1 big breath out. So, for those interested, I will link in the comments to these videos or the description on YouTube the link for the grit test if you guys want to test it yourself and see. Pretty interesting stuff. Obviously, there's more. You can click like learn more about this. So some really great stuff out there, some really good research, some really powerful and important kind of knowledge. Number 1. Here at the Academy, we have our kickboxing on demand classes ready to rock and roll for you guys. We're working into our endurance week, so lots of soreness, lots of people complaining that they're very hungry already because every time you pick things up and put things down, your body's trying to refuel. It's good for you. Our jiu-jitsu classes, we have our kids non-contact classes this afternoon, and those will all be on Zoom as well. And then adult jiu-jitsu tonight, potted up classes 4 and 3, 2 and 1 for timing. Obviously, guys, as always, check your calendar, check your schedule. And for anybody watching on Facebook or Instagram, give us a like, give us a share in this one. We're trying to build some of the social media following here, guys. So, yep. And Allison will bribe you with a dad joke.
All right. So my wife told me to stop acting like a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down.
Some things aren't just dad jokes, right? I guess you can have a wife these days. It's 2020.
You can absolutely have a wife.
All right, team. Go rock your Wednesday. Let's go.